Madam Hack, we're back. So, short video today. It's dark out. Did not film an intro, just kind of like impromptu. My buddy Brad, aka Millhouse Tune, that's his YouTube channel. Check it out. He's looking at buying himself a little hot rod, and he was like, "Oh, I wonder what it would be like with some suspension parts on to make it handle a little better." And I'm not gonna say what kind of car he's looking at, because like that would ruin the surprise, whatever. But anyway, though, I'm like, well, the subframes under the front of those cars is the same thing that is underneath the front of the Blindmaro here. And then the rear suspension is very similar to what's underneath a first-gen Camaro. When you buy leaf springs for these cars, that's what you buy. So over towards Norwalk, there's this spot where it's really hilly, curvy, and it's like mountain driving damn near. Like, it's kind of bizarre that this even exists in Ohio, like northwest, well, kind of in the middle, but still like northwest Ohio, borderline northeast Ohio. Anyway, though, we just refer to it simply as the Loop. And I was like, Brad, you're a good driver, and he's driven this car before. He'd driven it home when I was too drunk to drive home, because I don't drive drunk, but I mean, I was pretty hammered, and he drove me home before. And anyway, though, I was like, hey, you can drive it. And yeah, he manhandled this car here pretty hard today. The wheels are definitely a little bit darker now from all the brake dust. And but whatever, they needed cleaned anyways because they're looking pretty scuzzy. So anyway, though, he was like, dude, this thing's fun. So I know, but it needs more power. Always needs more power. So anyway, though, I just put a camera up in the windshield, pointed forward. You can hear us bullshitting along to, you know, while you're enjoying the views of this country you're driving here. I mean, it's not like, you know, super insane curves, but there's some pretty nasty sections of it. At one point, I was like, I do sound like an idiot when I was pre-watching the videos, because we were talking about rear suspension. And long story short, Dave at Pro Touring FI says when you run Caltrax and everything like that, the rear end becomes a sway bar, essentially, because everything's solid. And in the video, I'm like, well, I disagree with that. Garrett runs a sway bar on the back of his car. It's completely fine. Well, let me go into a little more detail why I disagree with his theory. Because Dave, he is like a smart dude. He's, you know, he was a chassis guy for a ARCA team way back in the day. But anyway, though, when I put a jack underneath the rear end of the car, and I put it over, like, on this axle tube to this side, and I start jacking up, the spring flexes, you know. Yeah, the spring is going to be solid this way, you know, laterally, because everything's solid, but it's not, you know, it's not like an I-beam or an H-beam, so it can still flex like this, if you know, you're making sense, or if I'm making sense to you. And like, when I pull out of the shop here, it is a off camber, off kilter, whatever you want to call it, surface. And the rear end of the car will be like shoved up on one side and be, you know, it'll look like a monster truck on the other. So the spring is in there flexing. So I think that a sway bar would not only make this thing handle better and help prevent body roll, not that it body rolls a lot now, but it would help tighten it up even to that next level. But I also think it would help in drag racing, because when this thing is taking off, this side of the car is lifting up, it's accelerating. So if that translates to the back, it's going to make the passenger side tire harder on the pavement and the driver's side tire lighter on the pavement. And the sway bar, in theory, would act as, like, in drag racing, they got these big nasty anti-roll bars. They're like 2 inches diameter and they're spline and everything. And in theory, I mean, this would, I don't need anything that crazy because I'm not going sevens. But anyway, though, in theory, that could theoretically help make the car launch better, which I do want to add a sway bar. I just haven't bought one yet. Not that they're super expensive, I just haven't done it yet because it's not been like a huge priority. But now that we're going to start to go faster, maybe we'll get on it. Well, anyway, though, I just wanted to explain it because I'm like, well, Garrett runs it, but as to why I not that I think that it's completely wrong. I get where the rear end would kind of act as a sway bar at that point, because you took all of the easily obtainable motion out of it. I mean, now the car is going to have to flex the springs. Like, you're going to have to use momentum. But furthermore, at that point, when you're pushing real hard, I think that the sway bar would help in the geometry. Now, you can go too far with it, and then it would have a effect would be negative. Like drag racing, those big anti-roll bars on the street, they can cause snap oversteer, which is not good. I mean, perfect for going down the track, keeping the car flat, but trying to go around a corner real fast, it's too stiff, and it upsets the chassis of the car and snap oversteer, and then it's like not good. Anyway, though, watched the video myself, previewed it, realized I kind of sounded stupid, probably still sound stupid, but wanted to at least explain myself a little bit, so I maybe redeem myself just a little bit. So anyway, though, I'm gonna cut this intro. I'm gonna put the unedited video from earlier today up, and you guys just enjoy the views and stuff. Thanks for liking, comment, subscribing, and if anybody has any video ideas or any content they want to see before the snow flies, which is gonna be pretty soon, let me know. One of my future video plans for sure is I want to show all of the stuff like I got for the motor before it goes into the motor. Still waiting on parts like rotating assembly, probably gonna be able to show that. But like camshaft, springs, I got shaft rocker system, a bunch of stuff like that I will be able to show. So yeah, we'll see you next time. Enjoy the video. It's expensive, but it's so good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't even have to try, it just goes.
Carburetors on that engine.
I don't know, hopefully not some fucking metal rock.
Why is it?
That would be annoying.
Turn that off. Got it right. Apparently this battery in this camera is dead as fuck. 116.
I've done 1180s. My bike goes 1180s and 115. But that's like, I think I could probably get the ET down a little bit with a better 60 foot.
Yeah.
But I should have changed the gearing because I still have it geared down. And, dude,
well, just to put it in perspective, it went 1236 at 118 with a 2-second 60 foot.
Jeez.
Yeah.
See, I went like I think I did like a 1.9 on my bike.
So if this engine combo was in an automatic car, I mean that's, or someone knew how to drive, I mean that's 11, probably what, 1150 all day.
Yeah, I mean, if you got down to like a 1.6 or something.
Oh yeah, 150.
I mean, they say like a 10th on the 60 is like 3/10 on
The big end.
yeah. Oh, yeah, she's all Dude, these cars, everybody always parks right here and always like, I'm always like, is this a cop or?
Why do they park right there for?
Oh.
Road's a little wet through here.
Oh yeah. It's always wet. People are out here hunting probably. I don't know how they hunt a fucking Hyundai Veloster, but
Yeah.
probably don't plan on breaking anything. Oh, I can't reach the gas with my heel. I have to try again.
Yeah, you can't heel toe in this thing.
I felt it push a little bit.
Yeah. But don't, these tires don't do anything good except for look good.
Dude, this thing is fun.
You're gonna be online looking at 6 speeds now.
Dude, I love it. It's just so expensive. But this transmission's crazy, man. This thing shifts awesome.
There's a spot over by my house that has a drop like that. And I was doing like 85, 90. It felt like it was a roller coaster ride. I was like, woo, she got a little light.
Dude. If this thing had like some sticky rubber on it, it'd probably be pretty crazy because it really doesn't like body roll.
They don't even have a sway bar in the back.
Really?
Yeah, so Dave, his theory with the Caltrax and like having everything solid is that the rear end housing itself becomes a gigantic sway bar. Now, Dave's a pretty smart guy, but I would be willing to debate him on that because Garrett, he runs a sway bar on his car and he has no problems. I want to put a sway bar on this car, I just haven't ordered one yet. Because even, you know, drag race cars, they have anti-roll bars, which is essentially, you know, a sway bar, but a little different.
Oh yeah, they got those like Matt's got one on his car.
Yeah, a big nasty.
It's like a torsion bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this has a Hotchkiss sway bar on the front. It's like 1.5 inch hollow bar. It was like the biggest one. I actually got that from Garrett. He put a solid bar on his car because he was having it rub something. And I was going to put a solid one on my car just said they can make a better manual brake system than your power brakes.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I talked to the guy from Willwood. He said another option people have been going with is hydro boost brakes because they make a lot of braking power.
Oh yeah.
But then you're adding weight and complexity, and you're adding another failure point.
Man, some of our work vans have hydro power steering.
You need power brakes.
Huh?
You need power brakes.
Or yeah.
Say, I think they all have hydro power steering.
Well, unless it's electric. But yeah, that oh yes, I meant they got that. But it's weird. It uses like a power steering pump to boost it. It's like it's kind of weird. Dude, if we put 100 shot on this thing, it'd be insane. I can tell. What year is in this?
411s.
See, I wish, dude, I wish my vet would have had like at least 373s because those like I don't know, I had 342s and it was just way too tall.
Hanging first gear way out there, huh?
Or I wish I would have had the Z06 trans. If I had the Z06 trans, that would have made it a lot more fun. That's crazy. That's fifth gear. It's still like
Motoring.
you can tell it'll pull.
Oh yeah, it'll pull hard in sixth gear, but then you start getting up there in speeds. You know what I mean? It's like, oh okay, we'll back her down a little bit.
Oh yeah, dude. That one time we raced Matt, we pulled out fifth gear in the Fed. That was insane.
So you're doing like 150.
Oh, I don't even know. I didn't even look. All I know is I let off to slow down, and I was like off and already on the brakes, and I saw the needle go back by 140. I was like, woohoo! That was probably the fastest I've ever gone, like, period ever on anything. Like, we had, I don't know, we were, whatever fifth gear is at like 6,300 RPM. I mean, we were fucking flying, dude. I'm pretty sure that's what finished off the number 7 cylinder. Because that was with the old.
Oh, okay.
That was with the original motor. I think that might have been the block cracker. Because it was like fucking forever. I probably burned 5 pounds of nitrous in one bowl. Like it was unreal, dude. Jim was like, holy shit. Like I snagged Finn and he was like, he like looked at me and like looked at the shifter and he was just like, I was like, yeah, dude. He's like, holy shit, man. He's like, I didn't think you were ever gonna stop. It's like, well, I didn't want to lose. That was like the race that everybody won. That one, like, we were so close.
I don't know, part of me wishes I would have put an automatic in this car because it would go faster in the corner. But then at the same token, it's like the 6-speed's damn good.
It's so fun. The engine brake is pretty good.
I felt her kick a little sideways there.
Oh. Some old machine.
That's a nice garage right there.
Dude, this guy here, this is Bill's dad lives where this barn is. I think he sold all his cars, but he had some badass Chevelles, dude. He had it rigged up to where in that barn, he had Chevelles in the loft. Like, I don't know how he got them up there, but he